So all are here. So dipole in a uniform field. So dipole has charge as shown, and there's a uniform electric field at an angle theta with the dipole, direction of dipole. So this is what we see. The field lines. Field lines are all parallel and equally spaced. It indicates a uniform field. And angle theta, which direction the dipole moment is? Dipole moment is directed from negative charge to positive charge, and electric field is directed along. See, we can take a x-axis. Angle between them is theta. If we do so, what will happen? It's easy to figure out. Each charge will experience a force. Positive charge will experience a force plus QE. Negative charge will experience a force minus QE. So we indicate the forces. The forces on the positive charge will be along the direction of field as indicated here. And force on the negative charge will be equal to minus QE, and the direction is opposite to direction of field. So moment these two forces indicated, it's very easy to figure out. These two forces form a couple, and these forces will create a torque. Net force will be zero. Center of mass will not move, but object will tend to rotate about center of mass. As the forces are not collinear, it will form a couple, and torque will be equal to force into perpendicular distance. We don't have to define the axis. What is the perpendicular distance? Two lines are given, two parallel lines. We should know how to find perpendicular distance. So either we can extend the line and we drop a perpendicular. This is the line along which the second force is acting. And this forms a right angle triangle. This length is 2d. This angle is theta. So perpendicular distance, very easily you can figure out, it is 2d sine theta. So what is torque due to this couple? Force multiplied by perpendicular distance. So let's write the value of torque here. So a dipole placed in a uniform electric field will not experience net force, it will experience a torque due to couple. The value of torque acting on the dipole is equal to force, which is QE, multiplied by 2d sine theta. We'll slightly rearrange the term. We bring this the term 2d along with Q. So we can rearrange this term Q into 2d into E sine theta. What is Q into 2d? Q into 2d is nothing but dipole moment P. So I can write as PE sine theta. And we notice here P sine theta. Does it remind you of something? There are two terms involved here. P is a vector, E is a vector, and it's coming as a sine theta. So it's possible to express this term
cross product.
E cross E.
Cross product. Question is, it's a cross product of two vectors. It meets all the condition. What a condition meets? It's a product of two vector quantity. Which are the two vector quantities here? One is the dipole moment, which is vector, electric field, which is vector, and resultant is torque, which also is a vector. And it's a sine of angle. Question is, should I write as P cross E or E cross P? See, suppose I write P cross E. This P cross E, if I take, see this in this case, which direction I've shown the arrow, fingers are rotating. See how, if I write, E cross P, if I write E cross P, the finger should rotate from first vector towards the second vector. So how the finger should go here? Finger should go along the direction indicated if it is E cross P. But is the torque acting in this fashion? Is the torque acting like this? Is the torque tending to rotate this whole thing in case of anti-clockwise direction? No. So E cross P does not give you the correct direction. What happens if we do P cross E? You understand the difference between the two? Again, we are going to the cross product. If we write P cross E, fingers should rotate, right hand thumb rule, fingers should rotate from the first vector, which is P bar, to second vector E bar. In that case, we find this particular pattern, this matches with the actual situation here. So which were the two? Is a cross product, but which order? It is P cross E, not E cross P. So torque acting on a dipole is in a uniform electric field is P cross E. To find this torque, all we need to do, if we have to find the magnitude, it is P into E into sine theta. To find sine theta, we just need to identify the angle between two vectors. So it should not be tough. And let's take some examples. So torque acting on a dipole, this is also important result. I will summarize later, but you should keep in mind torque acting in a dipole placed in uniform electric field is equal to P cross E. Okay. For various orientation, Suppose this is an orientation in which how electric field is from left to right. If charge is placed in this fashion, can you identify what is the angle between P vector and E vector? Can you easily see what is the angle between P vector and E vector here? Zero. P vector and E vector is zero. So in this case also, even in terms of figure also we can understand what will happen if angle is zero. This force acting in this line, this force is acting in the opposite direction, and what is the perpendicular distance? Perpendicular distance is zero. So from figure also you can understand the torque will be zero. In terms of result, in terms of cost product, there also we understand since theta is equal to 0, sin theta is 0, hence torque will be 0. So if it is placed, if dipole is placed aligned with electric field, it will not experience any force, it will not experience any torque. Electric field being uniform. Angle is 0, torque is 0, forces are collinear. What if suppose I turn the dipole? I have to rotate the dipole by 30 degrees. So what has happened? Has these forces changed? Forces have not changed. Neither their magnitude has changed, nor their alignment has changed. What has happened? The perpendicular distance between forces have increased. So suppose this angle theta is 30 degree. What will the torque here? Okay, I can either write in terms of figure also you can understand. Torque will be equal to this force multiplied by perpendicular distance, or in terms of formula also torque will be equal to P into sin 30. P in sin 30, we substitute P by 2, that will be the torque. And if I look at torque, all of you understand, is it clockwise or anti-clockwise? Which way it is trying to rotate the dipole? It is tending to rotate the dipole in a, see this something, if you torque there, it will tend to rotate the dipole in a clockwise fashion. So if it is clockwise, if I have to write in terms of I, J, K cap, if I cap and J cap lies in the plane of the drawing, the torque and clockwise direction is
minus K cap
into the plane, minus K cap. So if you look at this, if you take this right hand thumb rule also, the torque is going into the plane of the drawing, minus K cap. So what will happen as the angle keeps changing here? Suppose we keep rotating this, if this angle keeps increasing, the lever arm or perpendicular distance between forces also keep on increasing, hence the torque also keep on increasing. As the angle keeps increasing from 0 to 90, the torque will keep increasing as well. And if which way are we rotating this dipole is, if we dipole, we have given an angular displacement in which direction? Anti-clockwise direction. So when we give dipole a displacement in anti-clockwise direction starting from 0 angle, torque is acting in the clockwise direction. So other thing what we notice here, the torque created due to electromagnetic electrostatic forces are opposite to direction of angular displacement. So suppose I keep this dipole in this orientation, it is a 30 degree angle. If I leave it like this in space, will it remain there? No, it will again come, what will happen? It will rotate and come back with a similar alignment. So to hold a dipole at a particular angle theta, we need to apply an external torque which is equal and opposite to torque created by electrostatic forces. So external agent need to apply a torque equal and opposite to the torque created by electric field. So as the Campbell case says, suppose as the dipole keeps rotating, if you have to hold the torque at a higher angle, if you have to hold the dipole at a larger angle, at smaller angle is easier to hold the dipole at that angle. As the angle keeps increasing, the external agent also need to apply higher torque to hold the dipole at a higher angle. So so torque need to be applied to hold in equilibrium. As the angle increases, the external torque also need to increase. It is very similar to what happens in terms of force. So there's something to keep any object at rest. If a conservative force is acting, the external force has to be equal and opposite to conservative force. Here also torque is being applied by electrostatic forces. External torque has to be equal and opposite. If the torque increases, the external torque also need to increase. So if you have to think of physical equivalent, what is the physical equivalent of a dipole? You can think of a rod. There's a rod here and it is pivoted about a point, is free to rotate about this axis. Suppose I connect two strings, one string connected here and one string connected here. And these strings we always pull with a constant force in the same direction. That is equivalent to a dipole. So torque acting on this arrangement, what you may call as a steering rod kind of thing. So if as this angle is more, the torque it is more. This force here is constant, angle is constant. So how do we create a constant force? You tie a string to a rod. Suppose I have a scale here. A scale, I put a pivot here and tie a string here. This string I pull with the constant force. This string also pull with constant force.
But
This,
force is not constant, right?
and different orientation, the effect of the pull will be different. That's the physical equivalent of a dipole placed in electric field. Okay. Let's look at some more question. In this case, what is the angle between P vector? What is the angular displacement of with respect to E vector? Positive to 90 degree or negative 90 degree? What is the angle P makes with respect to E vector?
90. That's 90.
It is making an angle in the anti-clockwise direction. So we can see typically we take angular displacement in anti-clockwise direction as possible. So P has been given an angular displacement of plus pi by 2 or plus 90 degree. Which direction the torque will act? Torque will act in the, since the angular displacement is in the anti-clockwise direction, torque is acting in the clockwise direction. And this is the state where torque is maximum. This is the position of the dipole. So when is the torque on the dipole maximum? Torque on the dipole we understand from sine theta angle also. When is torque maximum? The sine theta is maximum. Sine theta is 1, theta is equal to 90 degree. Okay, so theta is 90 degree, torque is equal to minus P 90 minus P. We'll rotate the dipole in the clockwise sense. How about this state? This pretty looks similar, but in this particular case, the dipole has been given an angular displacement in clockwise direction, pi by 2. Hence, the torque is acting in an anti-clockwise direction. So here also the torque is PE, here also torque is PE. But in this case, torque PE is in the clockwise direction. Here the torque PE is in anti-clockwise direction. So this is simple things. I'm just giving examples so that we get a sense of how the torque will act for different orientations of dipole. Right figure, theta is equal to minus 90 degree. Theta is angular displacement of dipole vector with reference to electric field. Torque is equal to PE, will tend to rotate the dipole in anti-clockwise sense. How about this case? This is something like 150 degree. We have rotated this dipole by 150 degree. And you notice here, 150 degree, whatever torque is acting at 150 degree, there's some other angle where same torque gets created. What is the other angle for which we'll have the same value of torque?
30 degrees.
Huh?
30 degrees.
30 degrees.
So 30 degree and 150 degree, the torque magnitude and direction is identical. So every angle is something like theta and pi minus theta. So whatever torque acts at angle theta, same torque will act at angle pi minus theta. You understand? So we heard. And every time what is torque trying to do, if you have to look at the behavior of the torque, torque is tending to align the dipole with the electric field. It is opposite to direction of angular displacement. Do you understand what is the meaning of the sentence? Torque. What is torque trying to do? Torque is trying to bring the dipole in the same alignment as electric field. That's what torque is trying to do every time. Is the statement making sense?
Like a restoring force.
It's like a restoring force. We'll see that again. So it tends to align. It doesn't like it being disturbed. Moment what happens if the moment the dipole gets aligned with the electric field, the torque will rest. The torque will not do anything. But if there's a displacement is clockwise, it will apply torque in the anti-clockwise. If the displacement anti-clockwise, it will apply torque in the clockwise direction. So let's understand the, we said restoring kind of thing. So sometimes restoring and sometimes may not be restoring. Let's see what it means. There are two possible states of rotational equilibrium. What are the two cases when the dipole will remain in equilibrium? What are the two values of theta when the dipole will be in equilibrium? What are the two values of
0 and 180.
0 and 180.
0 degree and 180 degree. So let's examine both. What is this orientation? This orientation is towards right. And dipole vector, where is the dipole vector here? Dipole vector is from the negative charge to positive charge. Dipole vector also in the same direction. So here this is case theta is equal to 0. When theta is equal to 0, let's see what happens. We give a small displacement. So here from theta equal to 0 position, which is position of equilibrium, if we give a small angular displacement, what is the direction of a small angular displacement? Clockwise and anti-clockwise. We are rotated in an anti-clockwise direction. Moment we give small displacement in anti-clockwise direction, the torque starts acting in the clockwise direction. It's a restoring torque. What we find, torque will act in the opposite direction as restoring. This is the theta is equal to 0 corresponds to position of stable equilibrium. Theta is equal to 0 corresponds to position of stable equilibrium. Here we are talking about translation equilibrium as well as rotational equilibrium. What happens if theta is 180? Can we draw a figure theta is 180? Where will the charge plus q be and where charge minus q will be? What is the orientation of P?
They'll reverse the position.
Reverse. So reverse the position. And what happens when reverse the position? This is on the left hand side, this charge plus q comes here. This is the direction of dipole vector is from in this direction, opposite to direction of E. Theta is 180 degree now. And this is the force which is acting on the plus q charge. And this is the direction in which the force is acting on the minus q charge. What will happen is this condition of equilibrium. Is there any torque acting? No, but this right now, again, it is in the state of equilibrium. But let's check, is it stable equilibrium or unstable equilibrium? How do we check stable equilibrium or unstable equilibrium? We give a small angular displacement. Let's see this, it tends to come back to original position or not. So angle is 180 degree, torque is 0, equilibrium. Let's give a small angular displacement of dp. Which direction we have rotated? Again, we have given this angular displacement in an anti-clockwise direction, plus.
The net torque
Which
is
direction the torque is acting now? The torque also is acting in an anti-clockwise direction. So what happens? The displacement and torque in the same direction, it will keep rotating. Is it stable equilibrium? No, this is not stable equilibrium. So theta is equal to 0 is stable equilibrium, and theta is equal to 180. Though it is equilibrium, it is unstable equilibrium. So what will happen in this case? Which case? This case, first case, if we give small angular displacement, it will have oscillation. What kind of oscillation will have? What is the term we can use to define this kind of oscillation?
angular effect.
Angular oscillation. We'll see whether angular oscillation or not. See,
But
condition
angular
for
oscillation-
oscillation is there should be restoring force. In case of angular oscillation, there should be restoring torque. But if the restoring torque is proportional to angular displacement, it will have angular SHM. Otherwise, it will have oscillation, but not necessarily SHM. We'll see it later in terms of a numerical. But what you understood, two positions of equilibrium, one is stable, other is unstable. We'll examine stable equilibrium again, whether or not it is SHM. We'll do one more part, potential energy. Where does the potential energy come from? What is change in potential energy equal to? Gayatri, what is change in potential energy?
Negative of work done by conservation.
Negative of work done. So in case of linear displacement, work done is F dot dr. Minus, so if it is conservative force, change in potential energy is minus Fc bar dot dr bar. But in case of angular displacement, what would you write now? There is no linear displacement. So what would be the work done here? What is the expression for work done we should write here? In place of force, what you need to write? Since the torque is acting, there's no linear displacement, there's an angular displacement. That's what we're discussing. We'll write work done by torque created by conservative force. I'll write what is work done here. So change in potential energy equal to negative of work done. Since there's an angular displacement, work will be done by the torque. And we have seen yesterday, work done by torque, actually work is being done by force only. But yes, we can, it appear like a torque. Okay. So what is du minus tau d theta? All are okay with this expression? So change in potential is equal to minus tau d theta. If we know the value of tau, we can substitute. For large angular displacement, we integrate from initial angular position to final angular position, we find change in potential energy. Fairly simple. So what we'll do, as the position changes from theta 1 to theta 2, we can calculate change in potential energy corresponding to initial angular position theta 1 and final angular position theta 2. What is theta 1 and what is theta 2 here? What does theta 1 and theta 2 indicate? Which angular position? It gives you angular position of dipole vector with reference to electric field. Theta is the angular position of. So how do we think of any vector? We should think of a vector in terms of an arrow. So when, based on information, we can figure out which direction field is acting, what is the orientation of dipole vector, and between them, angular displacement. We take the reference line is what? Which is taken as a reference line here? Which vector is taken as a reference? Field vector. E vector, E bar vector is taken as a reference. So as the angular position changes, what is the term here? What is the expression? Is this clear? All of you easily understand what is the expression? I have substituted the value of tau. Tau value is equal to, why I written minus p sine theta here? In place of tau, this negative sign has come here. In place of tau, I have written minus p sine theta. Can you give me a reason why I have written minus p sine theta, not p sine theta? Anyone, can you think of why I have written minus p sine theta?
Torque is opposite to angular displacement.
Torque is opposite. So if d theta is positive, angular displacement is positive, torque is opposite. So this negative sign is not minus tau. This minus tau sign, minus sign has gone here. In place of tau, I have written negative sign because torque is opposite to theta. So this is something we have written. Now, can we easily integrate and find out the value? It's easy. P is a constant. See, it is simple. So these two terms, these two minus becomes plus. Actually, it is integration of sine theta. And what is integration of sine theta? Minus cos theta. P term, and we substitute the limits. So final potential energy minus initial potential energy becomes equal to P cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2. Why theta 1 has come first? Because of negative sign. So P cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2. And this expression, though we arrive at this expression, we don't use this expression much. This gives you change in potential energy. But I want to find out potential energy corresponding to particular angular position. This gives you change in potential energy. I don't want potential energy. I don't want change in potential energy. I want potential energy corresponding to value at theta. How should I find potential energy?
You can take 90 degrees as the reference.
So we need to choose something as a reference. So what we had done in case of a previous case, in case of linear displacement, what was taken as reference? A linear position was taken as reference. What is the linear position which was taken as reference? X being infinity. But angular position, they cannot be infinity. So here, since it involves rotation, I have to choose a particular angular position at which potential energy is 0. So what are the choice? Choice is anywhere between 0 to 2 pi. I could have taken 0 as a reference. You could have taken pi by 2 as a reference. I can take pi as a reference. Let's look at that. So what we do here, in order to define potential energy, we need to choose an angular position of P with respect to E for which potential energy is 0. I need to choose a reference. What is the reference? This expression. So what is the reference we choose? This is the reference we see the figure. This is the reference we choose. What is this angular position? Plus pi by 2 or minus pi by 2? Plus pi by 2. So we choose when theta 1 is equal to pi by 2, u theta 1 is 0. That's the reference. So when this condition, all of you understand when, what is this position here? This is something in terms of dipole, and this is in terms of vector notation. This condition, we choose it to be 0. We could have chosen 0 anywhere else, but we'll see that why we have chosen this to be 0. So for theta 1 is equal to pi by 2, that's a reference point. We assume the potential energy corresponding to theta 1 pi by 2 is equal to 0. If we substitute these two values here, this term becomes 0. And this term also becomes 0. So what is the right hand side? Minus Pe cos theta 2. So what is the expression reduces to? Theta 2, potential energy corresponding to angular position theta 2 is equal to minus Pe cos theta 2. And we like this expression little better. What is this expression here? It's a dot product. So why we have chosen this particular value as a reference? Because if you choose something else, there's some additional plus minus term will come. So we choose this particular as a reference because it yields a very good looking expression. It leads to a neat expression. So what does this mean here? So since there's no theta 1, we have defined the difference in terms of theta 2, I have placed theta. So potential energy corresponding to angular position theta is equal to minus P bar dot E bar. What does it mean? So what is potential if put theta is equal to 90? What is the potential energy corresponding to theta is equal to 90? It is minus P cos 90, which is 0. So which angle of theta will the, okay, this expression, so as far as potential energy goes, is a very simple expression. All we need is angle. And all of you should be able to answer. So let's check one by one.
Sir?
Shweta? Shweta? Shweta?
Yes, sir.
So this is the expression for, do you understand this expression? What does this tell you? Left hand is potential energy. at a particular angular position. Okay, and what is this value equal to? It's a simple dot product. So can you tell me, Shweta, for what value of theta will the potential energy be maximum? For what value of theta will the potential energy be maximum?
Cos 0.
No, you're just not thinking. When would this term become maximum? What is the right-hand side term? Right-hand term is minus PE cos theta. Which term will change in minus P cos theta? Will the minus sign, which term will change in this as the theta changes? Cos theta will change.
Yes, sir.
So minus P cos theta, what could be the maximum possible value of minus P cos theta? Minus P is maximum value, 0 is maximum value, or plus P is the maximum value?
Plus P.
Plus P is the maximum value. So when would it become plus P? What has value of cos theta for it to become plus P? So minus P cos theta becomes equal to plus PE. What has value of cos theta? Minus 1. So when is potential energy maximum? When cos theta is equal to minus 1. When is cos theta minus 1? What is value?
180 degrees.
180 degrees. So what happens? See, continuously look at this function. This value will keep increasing from this potential energy. Look, if you draw the curve also, it keeps increasing from 0 to 180. Continuously, it will keep on increasing. What is the minimum value? Minimum value is minus P at theta is equal to 0. As the theta keeps increasing continuously, the value of, see, if you have to plot this curve, what is this? You know what is the shape of the cos theta curve? This is negative of cos theta curve. So its shape will be like this. It will be like S shape. It will like S shape. Starting from 0, minus P, keep on increasing. So from 0 to 180, continuously potential energy keeps on increasing. All are clear on this point?
Sir,
Yes?
so why exactly is potential energy 0 at pi by 2? Like,
Wait, did I
not
tell
from
you?
the
See, potential energy, is it 0? No. We have chosen it to be 0. Why have chosen to be 0 at pi by 2? It's a reference. We could have chosen any value of theta to be 0. And we have to choose an angular position. See, if I choose some other value, it will not, the expression will not be neat expression. Only at pi by 2, we get as a dot product. And we know that this quantity depends on two vector quantities. Final result is a scalar quantity. It has to be a dot product. So among the all options, which one gives you best expression for potential energy? Theta is equal to pi by 2 gives you the neatest expression. See, potential energy has no meaning. Change in potential energy is meaningful. So which one? So we take this as a reference point. So this case we take as a 0 because reason is what? Again to repeat, what is the reason why we took pi by 2 is equal to reference?
So we arrive at a neat expression.
We arrive at a simpler form. We arrive at a simpler expression. Otherwise, expression would have been more complicated. And you think of it, minus P dot is a pretty simple expression. So this expression, this is 0. So from here, it starts with minus P by 2. Keeps increasing at some angle, it becomes minus P by 2. Sorry, we start from minus P. It will keep increasing, still negative. Minus P will become minus P by 2. And then it will become 0. Then it will become P by 2. And then it will become final P. So as the angle keeps increasing, potential energy will keep on increasing. And the reason also potential energy keeps on increasing, because work done by torque is always negative. The work is, as you keep rotating, torque is always acting in the opposite direction. So this expression for potential energy. There is a negative cos function of theta. So if you remember how the cos function looks like, it will look like minus cos function. Maximum when theta is equal to pi equal to P. Minimum value is minus P. When it becomes perpendicular, it becomes 0. Maximum value is plus P. So this completes all the points related to dipole. And this table should be in your permanent memory bank. What are the 5 points related to dipole? First point. What is the first point of dipole? Field due to dipole on its axis. What is field on the axis of dipole? And K times 2 P bar divided by x cube. Field on the equatorial axis minus OK P bar. We could have written as y cube also if you tried equatorial axis, or is it distance? Potential on its axis on positive side Kp by x square, on the negative side minus Kp by x square. What is torque on a dipole placed in a uniform field? P cross E. Potential energy of dipole in a uniform field is equal to minus P dot E. Is it difficult to remember? Can anyone, all of you can, this something, if you read this one, doesn't take long. I hope all of you have put it to at least your temporary memory. All of you, is it difficult to remember this formula? Not at all. And this formula, every time you should remember. Okay, so this table will recall, and let's put it to use. Let's try some numericals based on what we have done. Which 5 formula? We are going to use nothing beyond that. All of you clear? Any difficulty in application of this formula? To find a dipole, to apply this formula, what I need to know? So suppose I want to calculate torque. What I need to know to apply this formula? If I have to calculate magnitude of torque, what do I need to know? I need to know magnitude of dipole. I need to know magnitude of electric field. And I need to know the angle between them. Even this also, what are things I need to know? All cases you notice, only thing you need to understand the orientation of dipole vector with respect to electric field vector. If you find the angle theta, we can find out all the terms, right? Okay. First question. All question now, all of you, give it a thought and try and solve. So all question will appear. I'll give you exactly 2 minutes to solve each question, and then we'll solve it together. If they are not very new question, formulas are there. We should know how to apply it. Electric dipole is along a field. If it is deflected by 60 degree, work done by agent is so much. What is work done by agent if it is deflected by 30 degree further? So 2 minutes, all of you try and solve. These are all workbook questions. They're all common questions. Most of the questions in dipole are pretty common one. Any book you'll find a similar type of questions. As soon as you finish, raise your hand. So I'm looking at the watch. How do you solve any question related to work done? Hint is work done is equal to change in potential energy. Is the potential energy known here? Yes, we had the formula is there. We need to use it cautiously, properly. Anyone having an answer? What's your answer, Akash? Oh, good.
2 into 10 to power.
Same thing. Is it not? Anirudh, you have an answer?
2 into 10 power minus 9.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so 2 minutes up. Let's go through. Tejas, you have an answer?
Yes, sir.
Ashray, Rishad? Good.
Yes, sir.
Let's check that answer is okay or not. Okay, I'll lower all the hands. Let's go through. Moment we see work done, first thing our come to our mind, work done is equal to change in potential energy. For calculation of potential energy, I need the value of theta. So what is the initial, it is from where to where it is being deflected. What is the initial theta here? Is along the uniform electric field. Initial theta is 0, final theta is 60, first case. So when theta is changed from 0 to 60, work done is so much. What is the next thing we calculate? It is deflected by 30 degree further. So what are the two angles involved in the second case? 60 to 90. First case 0 to 60, second case 60 to 90. Now let's start simple substitution. Let's do that one. What is work done? Final potential energy minus initial potential energy. How I'm going to calculate potential energy? Minus PE cos theta. So final potential energy in first case is minus P into cos of 60 because it's making angle of 60. So final potential energy is equal to minus P by 2. What is the initial potential energy? What is the initial angle here? How do you get this initial angle 0?
Because it's along the.
It's along. So we have visualized it's easy. The initial angle along means initial is 0 and deflected by 60 degree means theta has become 60. Simple substitution. So what is work done? I put those values. I find work done is equal to P by 2. This is work done when from 0 to 60. Second case, what will the initial value? 60. Final value rotated by another 30 degrees is 90. So if 60 to 90. Okay, 60 to 90. What will the final potential energy corresponding to 90? 90 it is 0. And 60 it is minus P by 2. I substitute the values. I get P by 2. So work done, WD dash also is equal to P by 2, which is equal to W. Sai Shriya,
Yes, sir.
have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Sure?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir,
And
sir,
yes?
sir, since work done by torque is always negative, work done by the agent will be positive, right?
Work done by agent has to be positive. That's why we are, see, basically this work done is positive. See, or other way of thinking, yes, if potential energy is increasing, there has to be, on its own, potential energy will not increase. So
Yes, sir.
external agent has to number. And as the theta keeps increasing, the potential energy is increasing, work done
So
has
there
to
has to be a work done.
So what will happen if theta decreases, work done by external agent will be negative.
Yes, sir.
Another question I can ask here, what happens if I release this dipole at from theta is equal to 90 degrees? Suddenly it is like this. How is the dipole? Electric field is toward right. I release the dipole. What will happen? Which way it will move? What will happen to dipole if electric field is towards right? Blue pen is the dipole. What will happen if we release it suddenly? Will it go like this? And will it go like this? No, it will. This will how it will oscillate. Are you following what will happen? If I release the dipole, what will happen? It will tend to align with the electric field vector, but as it reaches there, it will gain kinetic energy. And because of kinetic energy, it will overshoot. It will keep oscillating. So what is the maximum kinetic energy it will acquire, and which position will the kinetic energy be maximum if dipole is released from theta is equal to 90 degree? Which position will the kinetic energy be maximum?
Will be maximum at 90 degrees.
It will be maximum when potential energy is minimum.
Yes.
When is the potential energy minimum? Theta is equal to 0, potential energy is
Oh,
minimum.
yeah.
How much will be the potential energy at the, so what will be the kinetic energy at that point? Loss of potential energy will be the kinetic energy. From 90 to 0, what is the loss of potential energy? PE. So kinetic energy at the main position will be equal to P.
Hmm.
Okay, next question. Okay, another thing what we also come across, see there are two quantities here, work done and torque. Is the dimension of work done and torque be same or different?
Same.
They are same, force multiplied by distance. So sometimes the question comes, we can compare the torque as well as work done. So suppose, see, when we have rotated by 60 degree, what is the work done by rotating by 60 degree? Work done is equal to PE by 2. But when it is at 60 degree, I need to apply some external torque to hold it at 60 degree. On its own, it will not stay at 60 degree. It will try to rotate back to the original position. I need to apply a torque, and the torque also will come in terms of PE only. The torque also is what? P cross E. So can we compare can we find out torque magnitude in terms of W work done?
They'll be equal, right?
So let's say, no, they'll not be equal. So if imagine if the magnitude of work done to rotate by 60 degrees W, then what is the magnitude of torque to hold it in this position? Can we calculate that one? We already calculated what is W in terms of PE?
P by 2.
P by 2. So can we write torque also in terms of P at 60 degree? What is the torque at 60 degree? How do we calculate torque at 60 degree?
P sin theta.
P is sin theta. So torque is equal to P
Theta.
sin theta. So P sin theta is root 3 by 2 P. It means, can I write torque in terms of W now?
Yes, sir.
At 60 degree, torque is equal to root 3 by 2 W. Actually, this question also has come in the examination. So, though torque and work done are two different physical quantity, they have the same dimension. So we can compare the work done and we can express one in terms of other using the relationship of dot product and cross product. All you followed, this magnitude of torque at 60 degree is equal to, so magnitude of external torque which need to apply to hold this dipole at a position of 60 degree will be equal to root 3 by 2 times the work done to rotate by 60 degree. Shravani, have you followed this so far?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, let's next question. Time starts
Sir?
now. Yes.
Sir, wasn't it supposed to be root 3 times the work done?
Sorry, I said this is root 3p by 2. It should be root 3 times work done. Yeah, I think my statement.
Okay.
Yeah, root 3 by 2p, and work done is 1 by p by 2. Correct. Root 3 by 2 work done.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, this question should not take more than a minute. Yes. 30 seconds up. Yes. So some of you have answered in half a minute. Yes. Several of you have an answer. Very good. I am happy to. Anirudh, you have an answer?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Anish, Chandra Kaushik. So some new names. Anvita, all of you have an answer. Okay, this easy one. How should we ask? Less than a minute so far, but 1 minute so far. You're done. So what is maximum torque? Moment the question comes torque, first thing comes to my mind. Oh, it is P cross E. When is the torque maximum? We are talking magnitude. It is P sine theta. It is maximum 1. Sine theta is equal to 1. Maximum torque is PE. So very easy. Magnitude torque is P sine theta. Maximum 1 sine theta is equal to 1, which is pi by 2. So P value we know. What is P here? Charge multiplied by the separation between charge. So charge is 10 to the power minus 6. Separation is, again, you convert into meter. The magnitude of dipole vector. And E field is given. We multiply these two. This term, we multiply by E term, which is 10 to the power minus 5. So 2 into 10 to the power minus 30. I hope all of you got the right answer. Anirudh, was your answer correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good. The next question. Again, time starts now. Put the stopwatch. Let's see. Can anyone calculate this one now? This is slightly. That next question is more of an SHM. Unless you remember about SHM, we won't be able to solve it. Slightly displaced. Which option, Akash?
Sir, ML by 2 QE.
Among these three, 1, 2, 3, 4, which option?
2 pi root ML by 2 QE.
Third option, you think. So good. So you remember something about SHM motion. Okay, so Tejas, you have an answer?
Yes, sir.
Very good. See, where we had got it correctly. Because this is something, this is not,
Yeah.
see, this is as much an electrostatic question as it is SHM. Actually, it involves more of SHM than electrostatics. Let's do that. So good. I think within 2 minutes, some of you have an answer. Though it is slightly, this is involves a concept which is not only from this chapter. It involves some concept from the previous chapter as well. Okay, let's go through and solve it. So let's see what it is based on. We discussed some part of it, stable equilibrium. It is about angular SHM, about center of mass. Okay. So what is the torque? When we give the torque, we know is equal to minus PE sine theta, which can be written as minus PE into theta for small angular displacement. So what we find, the torque is proportional to theta. And as we do in case of linear SHM, we equate force for small displacement to minus m omega square x. Here equivalent of m is I. In terms of x is theta and omega square. So if I equate, if torque is proportional to theta, it will result in angular SHM. So if we can substitute all the values and simplify, we get an answer. Minus p theta is equal to minus I omega square theta. What is I here?
Moment of inertia about that.
Moment of inertia, about axis of rotation.
Yes.
So moment of inertia of which kind of, what is there in the moment? It's not a rod. Rod is a light rod. Moment of inertia, where does the mass lie? Only these two particles have mass. This has mass and this has mass, and they're rotating about center of mass. So what is moment of inertia of a point mass? Moment of inertia of a point mass about an axis is mass into square of the distance from the axis of rotation. So this mass will have moment of inertia m into square of this distance. Other also m into square of the distance. The distance of mass from axis of rotation is L by 2. Length of the rod is L. Let's calculate moment of inertia. It is something like this.
ml square by 2.
So m into square of the distance square, and twice because there are two masses. ml square by 2 is moment of inertia. So let me put those values here. In terms of here, we substitute the values. Theta gets cancelled. Minus minus. In place of P, what is the dipole moment? Q into L. E is same. In terms of I omega, I put 1 by 2 ml square, omega square. Time period is 2 pi by omega. That's the expression. Okay, how many have we understood now properly? Vrinda, have you understood? Some of you have solved it. This was your answer correct?
Yes, sir. My answer was correct. I did it by this method only.
Okay.
There's only
So
one.
most of you. Okay, good. Most of you are okay. So suppose I change this question. The question, okay, I'll come to that question also. So what happened? Suppose, okay, make some minor changes in the question. What if the rod had mass m and two charged particles had negligible mass? What
Only
would
the moment of inertia will be ml square by 3. ml square by
So
12.
if, in this case, what was given? This rod has negligible mass. That's why this did not have moment of inertia. Only these two particles had masses. So we have taken moment of inertia for particle. If the mass of this charged particle is negligible, connecting rod has mass, then we'll take moment of inertia of the rod about center of mass, axis perpendicular to it. We would have taken ml square by 12. So what if both had masses? Rod had mass m, each particle had mass m, then we calculate moment of inertia of rod as well as mass.
Yes,
Mass. So any combination, moment of inertia will change depending on mass distribution. Shreya, have you understood? Shreya? Okay.
Yes, sir.
That's
I understood. Yes.
understood. Okay. So this question, can we solve this question now? time taken by to again come to equilibrium. Let's see that one. So one way is to solve from the basic. Other ways, we have already arrived at a formula in terms of variables in the previous question. We can go back and substitute. Is it not? So one thing, but this something, is this arrangement identical to this one? Identical. So T is 2 pi root of ml by 2 QE. Ahlad, what's the answer you have?
The 2.5 pi seconds.
2.5. Okay, but this question they're not asking about time period. It's asking it is deflected through 2 degree. Where do I substitute 2 degree here? How do we make use of this 2 degree here? What is significance of this 2 degree?
It's a small angle, so we can consider it
Basically, 2
SHM.
degree has no meaning. It only tells a small angle, hence I can treat it as SHM motion. So significance of 2 degree, where does it come if I go compare with the previous derivation? Significance of 2 degree comes here. 2 degree for a small angle, I could have taken, I have to write this degree in terms of theta, I could have taken sine theta is equal to theta. That's the significance. And the theta gets eliminated. It doesn't come into final formula, but small angle is a necessary condition for it to have SHM equation. That's 2 degree. So what is the time taken to come into equilibrium? What does it mean? How much time it will take? Suppose I deflect by 2 degree. How much time it will take? Equilibrium position is what? Theta becomes 0. From 2 degree, how much time will it take that angle to become 0 in terms of time period? How much time does it take to come from the extreme position to mean position in terms of time period? T by 4. Time taken to come from the extreme position to the mean position is T by 4. So we'll calculate similar way time period. We calculate the time period, we divide by 4, that's the time it takes to come from the extreme position to the mean position. Oscillation T, extreme to mean position T by 4, again mean position to other extreme T by 4, T by 4, T by 4. So extreme position to mean position time is T by 4. Same formula I'll use, I'll calculate T by 4 and you can easily find, no problem. Using T by 4 is my answer. Okay. Same thing, that's all the same. Okay, so this substitution maybe it takes a little while, so some of you may take some time. Otherwise, same formula, I'll calculate T by 4. Have you understood why I'm calculating T by 4?
Yes, sir. Extreme position to mean
Extreme position to mean position.
1/4 the total.
1/4 of the time. Okay, next question. Is potential form.
Just along the axis, right?
Yeah, just any doubt when you look at the question. See, only thing important in the question is understanding the orientation. Rest all is simple formula. It's based on, so can I apply the formula of approximation, or do I used to use the formula of, see, Z is given as greater than A. They have not mentioned Z is much larger than A. So I can't use that approximation. I can't use Kp by x square. I need to write Kp divided by root of, Kp in place of x square. What do I need to write? Z square minus A square. Okay, but are they in the same alignment? See, first of all, if I ask you, Shavni, can you tell me, will the potential be positive or negative or zero? Is the potential at the point be positive, negative, or zero?
Positive.
How do we identify positive?
Greater than A.
Yeah, first thing I need to look at, first of all, are they all lying on the same line or on a different line?
Same line.
Why? How do you get that it is same line?
Coordinates.
What is
Axis.
their coordinates?
Coordinates. Yes.
So what I notice here, all are placed along what? All are placed along z-axis. First thing notice, all are placed along z-axis.
And point B is to the right of plus Q charge.
Yes. So what I noticed, the point here is on the right side, it is nearer to positive charge or in the right side of plus Q charge. Hence, it will be positive value. That's what you need to do. If you have to draw a figure also, all points on the z-axis. That's the first thing you should spot. If all points lie, so point lies on the axis of dipole in the direction of the dipole vector. Hence, is a positive value. So Kp divided by what? Kp by z square minus A square. Or if you don't remember the formula, sum of potential due to each charge. Okay, next one. This is the last question for today, but this question I want evaluate at least 25 people should solve. And I put the time now, whatever time taken, even if you take 5 minutes, you should solve this question. It's not a complicated question, take time, but get an answer. Also.
Sir?
Yes?
Sir, you said potential energy of a dipole is not meaningful.
Not?
Not meaningful.
You see, potential energy, when we talk about, see, potential changes when the work is, I didn't say that it is not meaningful. I'm saying, see, when we say our definition of potential energy is for the change in potential energy. We use some artificial method, we use some reference to arrive at potential energy. Otherwise, definition is for change in potential energy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got it.
Yeah. For in case of, see, it becomes more meaningful in case of linear displacement. We say infinity it is zero. So it makes some common sense. Okay, infinity is very far, force is acting zero. But why zero? But there also we're making some assumption. Here we don't have a choice of choosing infinity.
Yes, sir.
So we have to choose some angular position. Which angular position? Okay, we're choosing pi by 2. Why choosing pi by 2?
So that it becomes zero.
Most simpler expression. Okay. So let's stop here. I think hope we followed most of the point. So tomorrow when we come, I'll ask some of you, any one of you, if I ask, you should be able to tell me what those 5 points are. All 5 points should be clear and well understood also. How to apply those points. Go through, see that you understand the direction of torque, how to calculate potential energy, how to calculate work done from one angular position to other angular position. See that understanding of all those 5 formulas are clear in your mind. Okay. So we'll stop here. And again, so some of you, again, those who are not clear, we will come back again, rejoin in the evening. Again, these questions which are not clear, we can solve again. And we'll try to understand better so that there's no doubt left in the mind. Okay. Okay, then stop here. Thank you. And
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Thank you.